So maybe, just maybe, we'll get to use our leg today. Stay tuned. So those of you wondering, for some reason, why we're doing this bin project so late, 2019 has been a tough year for a lot of guys, and a lot of projects got put on hold just for dirt work and stuff like that. We actually had this project ready to go early this spring, so we pulled the trigger on it. It's been one of those years. It's just been a weird, long, drawn-out year, and then we got this down corn, and we actually would probably be done or close to done harvesting if that project was completed going into harvest, because we could have started sooner and just been a lot more fluid. We've kind of been lollygagging a little bit just to wait for it to get done, because it's a big investment and we kind of want to use it to start with. We might not even get it completely full this year, because we kind of pushed the limits on getting harvest done anyway. So that's kind of leading up to this moment, I guess. Right now, while I'm waiting, I got a field that isn't loaded correctly onto John Deere's operations center, and so I'm heading back to my combine, because it's a field we just harvested with one combine. So I'm gonna go just grab it off with a USB stick and take it back to the computer and load it, because I can resend it from the machine. The only thing is, down here it's in low cell service and it uses cellular connectivity to send that stuff to the cloud. So while I'm waiting, I might as well just pull the USB stick, get the data that way, and take it back to the shop office and resubmit it that way to reload that information onto John Deere Operations Center. So that's what I'm doing now while we're kind of waiting. And so I'm out here at the combine, and before I was gonna get the USB out and upload that data, I was gonna recheck this chain, and something I've been noticed more in this down corn is this feeder house chain that kind of runs your head. Since we've been picking down corn and pulling more stock through on just more of the plant through this head, it's been pulling on this chain more, causing more stretch, and so I'm gonna have to retighten this up again. And I'm getting kind of the end of my rope here, and so I'm gonna pull this back down, take a link out, and then shorten that chain up, because I'm kind of getting to the end of my throw there. So whatever you call that, adjustment. So while I'm waiting, I might as well do that, I guess. But yeah, that's something I've been noticing with this down corn, just dragging all them stalks through the head, just creating more pull and wearing on that chain. So yeah, this is what I take out just to shorten up the chain a little bit, get it kind of back into tension. I usually, well, I could have tightened it. Usually like it so it just kind of rests on that. I don't want it super tight that it's going to cause extra stretching, but at the same time you want it snug. Okay, we're going to go in here, put your USB in. Alright, we're going to want to go to Menu, System, File Manager. So we have either choice. Well, actually we're going to want to export it. So we're not going to want to export everything, because I don't need everything. I just want a custom. Then we're going to select a specific field. Alright. We just want the work data. We don't need anything else. Well, it's not like in that USB drive. Sometimes, apparently none of these USBs are formatted right. Alright, it's exporting it, so we'll see how this works. Well, we'll wait on that and go from there. Guess it's not working out the way I wanted it to. So while those guys are over there finishing that stuff up over there, the rest of the gang decided to run through some cattle. They weaned them the other day. So yeah, we got our first dump in yesterday. I didn't have my camera with me, but I kind of took some shots with the old camera phone. And everything went fairly well. They had to tighten up a few things after the first load. A little bit of corn leaked out at top, so I'm guessing they had a boot band, or I don't know. They said they just had to tighten some stuff up. The first pit here, they didn't have the trap open enough. So if you see in this shot here, they kind of had to take the skid steer and lift it up a little bit more than what we had going on. And so yeah, we got started here, and hopefully we can get rolling today. We picked off about 50 acres yesterday to put in here, and now we can finally just keep rolling. Hopefully the thing holds together for that long and we can go from there. But no, this is kind of exciting for us. We've never really had anything like this. This is a big investment for our farm, and hopefully it'll work well and help us out during harvest, and also with marketing and not having to put out quite so many grain bags as we have in the past, and go from there. Not everything's all hooked up. The dryer's not going to be hooked up yet. We don't need it this year because all of our corn has been dry. We thought we might have to, but this year's just been really crazy. So I don't know a lot about the system yet. We kind of know how to turn it on and get the bins full. The only thing I really know about it is how to write checks for it, but that's how it is. But I'm sure we'll learn it over the next few days here, how it all runs. And no, the original design was not to have a dryer. That's why we have two big bins. People ask us why we don't have a dry bin, or a wet bin I should say. We really didn't intend on putting a dryer in this year, but this year was looking like it could be one that we might need a dryer for, so that's why we pulled the trigger on it. And we're going to use this west bin here as a wet bin for now. Eventually I think we would like to shoot off to the west there and maybe put a dry bin. I keep saying a dry bin, a wet bin for the dryer system that's smaller, but you know, obviously that's more money, but we just didn't want to add that quite this year, and it probably would have never got done anyway. So nope, hopefully we can get harvesting again and just rolling, because a lot of other guys are finishing up around here, and so hopefully we can fill most of this and go on from there. But yeah, so it's kind of exciting.
Areas of central Nebraska, central Kansas, in the upper 30s.
You can almost see the leg in the background. I don't know, it's over there, but it's probably about a half, we'll call it a 3/4 mile haul. But we're trying out keeping up with one truck, and so far it's working awesome. So that's huge. We're running 2 combines, and so I mean, that's kind of been our goal, is to try to help reduce labor demands through harvest, and that's kind of one of the big reasons why we put that thing in and put the pits in, and so we could dump and go, hopefully eliminate a truck.
Now you get Kurt to put them pet motors on a remote, and then get Gordon to put some traps on a remote, and then he'd have it made.
Now they're just getting fancy. But anyway, so that's kind of a big...
I could run all them remotes.
That's kind of the biggest thing, is to help reduce labor. Also just being close to the highway so we can haul out, you know, in lesser than ideal conditions. And everything's been working okay so far. Hopefully it holds together, Lord willing, and we'll go from there. And I guess to kind of explain it in further detail for maybe some non-farmers, picking corn in a timely manner is not just the size of your combine and how many combines you have. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle is keeping the corn away, or whatever crop you're using. And what I mean by that is the ability to haul it with either trucks or put it in bags, put it in bins, haul it to the town, to the elevator. That's the other half of the battle, is just keeping that corn off the combine, whatever it's pulling in. Because you can have the biggest combines in the world, but if you can't keep the corn away from them, and they're just sitting, that's just a waste of money. So having the right setup, trying to match up equipment to keep corn away from the combines during harvest, that's the other half of that battle. So if you ever have any more questions on how we do that, just post them in the comments below, and I'll try to answer my best, either in the comments or in the next videos or whatnot. So hopefully that kind of explains it in further detail. So we're running in a little bit of down corn right now, but one of the other setbacks to running in dead down corn and running your head solo is there's a lot of critters out here in this field, and I sadly, I don't know if I want to tell you, but cut a porcupine in half, but it's what happened. Luckily, I was able to get it out of the head without having to get out and shove it out, but it's just kind of sad. I don't like to kill things, but when you have to run your head so low to the ground, sometimes those guys they tend to hunch down and try to take cover, and I can't see them, so it's just what happened. Poor guy. So today you guys are in for a real treat. We got the beautiful one and only Mrs. O'Neill, Rob O'Neill, running the grade car today. Just look at how smooth she runs that thing. Almost a little too smooth. So technically we got two ladies in the operation today. We got wife over there. Tom's wife's coming down the road in a semi. If you can see from a distance. Sorry if it's shaky. For those of you new to the channel or just tuning in here, this year here in central Nebraska at least, it's been fairly widespread in the central part of the state, but we had a little earlier in harvest a couple weeks ago. Maybe it's been 3, I can't remember. You can look back at my videos, but we had a pretty powerful windstorm come through, 60-mile-an-hour winds, pretty well sustained for quite a while. I can't remember how long it was. It was probably at least 24 hours. It seemed like at least 24 hours, maybe not longer, but I knocked a lot of corn down. It was pretty widespread. A lot of it's on our hilltops. Hillsides are the worst, you know, with some of the bottoms being kind of protected, and they'll stand a little better. There's been quite a lot of it broke off probably a couple feet above ground, so we're able to get a little bit of it, or most of it anyway. The only problem is we're still losing some ears over the side, and it just kind of depends on the ear retention on the hybrid. And so ear retention for non-farmers, meaning just how well that stock can hold on to that ear and keep it going into the head. Because if you have poor ear retention, it's just going to fly off that stock and then fly on the ground. So different fields are all going to be different, and so that's kind of the challenges we've been facing here this year. It slows you down. I kind of mentioned this in a couple videos ago, I can't remember, but you know, we've probably been having to drive about a half a mile an hour to a mile an hour slower than we normally do, just because of the down corn. Some of it's due to feeding into the head. We don't have any corn reels or stuff like that, but it just depends on the area really. Our yield's been going. We're off from last year. Last year was one of our best yielding, if not our best yielding year. But this year we're off, so yeah, it's not as good as crop out here at least. And that's kind of the majority of what I've been hearing anyway, is just we're probably off 10 to 15% from last year. So it's disappointing, but it's farming. 2019's been a rough year on a lot of farms, just a lot of different challenges. Ooh, pheasant.
Hey Mom, good job.
Sorry, my attention span's about this big. Yeah, no, 2019's been a challenge for a lot of farmers. So, not that we want the poor me attitude. I never want to portray that. It's just kind of telling you what it is out here. It's just been a little bit of a struggle. Weather has been a big factor in all of that. So, we'll carry on. We got the two ladies, Tom's wife, my wife. Hope there's an oven in there so they can get supper ready too. Not asking for much. Well, this field's done. Just gotta wait for him to dump on the cart. Then we'll get out of here. Well, he's dumping. Last load of the day anyway. So we don't have too much. We got probably 700 acres left to go or so. So hopefully about midweek, if it doesn't snow or hold us up too much tomorrow, and can get going. I looked at the forecast. Looks like we're gonna get a little bit of snow, so that could be the main holdup. But I guess we'll see how it goes. So yeah, 2019. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. Just if you want to help out, just hit the likes and subscribe if you want to, and I appreciate it. We'll catch you later.